Yeah, Madam Chair, I'd like to listen to Professor Ferrer's manifestation, so she can take it out of my 1 minute. If it can just be 1 minute, please.
Thank you, Senator Aquino.
Well, very briefly, Your Honors, the matter of the coordination, I think one question that has arisen in these circumstances is whether, in fact, a high-value target operation requires this some kind of a prior coordination between between at first level between the government involved in the LEO and and the government adjunct, and then secondly between the government adjunct and the MILF adjunct. I think this has really been part of the problems that we have encountered in the past ever since that kind of a protocol was established in 2002. And that was why in 2012, the implementing guidelines was developed further between the government and the MILF, but we continue to have that kind of difficulty, particularly in relation to coordination between the AFP and the PNP. This is not the first instance that we've had some kind of differences of opinion exactly how to manage circumstances of law enforcement operations that would affect MILF communities. And for that reason, in July 2013, after a series of workshops over 2 months between the police officers and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, we came up with our letter directive of July 2013, further developing the guidelines of cooperation, coordination between the AFP and the PNP, which was signed, this document was signed by no less than the PNP Chief, Alan Purisima, and then AFP Chief Manny Bautista. And although, and it was very clear that the 24-hour rule pertains to non-high value target, but in cases of non-high value target, the prior coordination can happen less time.
So
that
Professor
is the...
Ferrer, no, sorry to cut you. So are you saying that in your estimation, the ceasefire agreements were not violated by the operations of SAF in the area? Categorically, are you saying they did not violate the ceasefire agreement?
This is the adjunct mechanism which pertains
Well, the
to
adjunct
law.
mechanism?
Right? Yes, sir. I think they have said that they have decided as a matter of judgment call that they will not coordinate this operation with this mechanism.
Kaya nga po, but for the adjunct, and I'm not sure if you can speak for
Yes,
the,
sir.
can you speak for the adjunct?
Protocol-wise, there was oversight, bypassing of the protocol. But I think, if I may, Your Honor, there are really two questions here. One is how to interpret the protocol. The second is to evaluate the consequences, whether or not it was necessary or not in that circumstances.
Professor, let me ask General Orense of the adjunct. General Orense, no, just to be clear lang with what Professor Ferrer was saying, sa inyo pong tingin, wala pong violation dun sa adjunct mechanism, dun sa ginawang operations against Marwan?
Meron po, sir. Actually, sir, yung prior coordination, sir.
Okay, kasi iba yung prior coordination sa time on target.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and if indeed there was, you're evaluating that, ano? So kapag hinatulan po ninyo na meron ngang violation, ano po yung consequences po noon?
As of now po, Your Honor, we really do not have any action on that. Maybe it could be just talking with them or telling them that they have violated, so it will not be repeated anymore.
But, kumbaga po, may mekanismo tayo, sa tingin nyo po, nilabag yung mekanismo, so ngayon, both parties will have to judge, no, based on that violation, kung ipagpapatuloy pa ba yung mga proseso o hindi. Tama po, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me ask Mr. Iqbal, sa tingin nyo po ba, they're also the MILF is also part of the adjunct, tama po? Okay. Do you feel that there was a violation in the adjunct, in your estimation, na meron pong violasyon yung usapin ng ceasefire?
No, I do not want to say it, but it was already admitted that there was no coordination.
Okay. Kumbaga nasabi nyo na rin ho, no? Nasabi nyo na rin, no? Na wala pong koordinasyon, therefore na-violate yung adjunct. Ano po yung magiging aksyon ng MILF ngayon ng nasabi po ninyo na meron pong violasyon dun sa mekanismo ng pagsi-ceasefire?
Doon din mismo titingnan doon sa terms of reference ng ADIAG at saka yung sa ceasefire agreement. May mekanismo doon na nag-address kung sakali may violation on the part of government, on the part of the MILF. Yun din mismo ang ma-address.
At doon sa violation na yun, titingnan po ninyo kung nararapat o bang ipagpatuloy yung peace process o hindi.
I think that would not go to that extent because everybody believes that the way forward is to continue the peace process.
Okay. So you're saying, Chairman Iqbal, na kahit may violation, ipagpapatuloy pa rin ninyo yung peace talks?
On the part of the MILF, we are committed to peace. And for us, there is no other option except the option of peace.
Okay. Sabi po ninyo no, that there is no other option except peace. I would like to ask regarding justice. No? At ito rin po yung tanong ko nung isang araw, and I'm very masaya po ako na nandito po kayo para sagutin yung mga tanong ng diretsahan. Kahapon po, si General Espina gave a very impassioned and emotional plea, no? Plea and a question regarding why his men were treated that way, no? General Espina, no, yesterday in Congress, and I think that went to the hearts of many Filipinos. I'm sure nakita nyo na rin po yung mga video, meron po kayong mga reports on the ground. Handa po ba ang MILF na tumulong sa ating mga government officials na arestuhin, mag-serve ng warrant of arrest kapag panahon na mag-serve ng warrant of arrest, at i-turn over ang mga gumawa po ng mga heinous crimes sa ating mga SAF 44? Handa po ba kayong tumulong?
Mahirap na tanong yan, pero kaya lang, ang gusto kong sabihin dito, yung justice,
Opo.
kailangan mag-apply yan doon sa two sides. Ibig sabihin, ang hustisya, hindi lang para sa malakas. Ang pinaka-importanting hustisya para sa yung mahina. So, justice would apply to West. However, regarding your question, I think we have a mechanism to address that question. It's in the mechanism of the ceasefire agreement and the ADIAG. The MILF, from the beginning, in 1997 up to today, we considered all signed documents as sacred. Even that agreement is signed between Muslims and non-Muslim because it is the same. Whether you sign an agreement with a Muslim or with a non-Muslim, the sacredness of that agreement is the same.
First of all, no, Mr. Iqbal, no, yung malakas at mahina in this case, maybe traditionally malakas yung gobyerno at mahina po yung mga kasama ho natin sa MILF. Pero in this case, klarong-klaro po, di hamak mas marami po yung ibang forces, no? At kung makikita rin po ninyo, mas maliit rin yung puwersa na pumasok po sa Mamasapano compared to the forces that were there. Yung nakita ho natin kahapon, no, yung nag-surface po ng mga videos at yung medical legal report na meron pong mga pinatay ng harap-harapan. Yun po, labag rin po yun sa mga patakaran po ng MILF, hindi po ba?
Your
Yes.
Honor, would you allow me to read a portion of the code of conduct of the Bangsamoro Islamic Armed Forces?
Okay, please, please.
Yeah. It's Article 1, items 4, 5, 6, and 7. Number 4, wounded enemy combatants. Never betray or be treacherous or vindictive. Do not mutilate, don't cut or burn palm trees or fruitful trees or ruin dwellings. Don't slay sheep, a cow, camel, or other animals except for food. This is a hadith from Prophet Muhammad. Number 5, surrender enemy combatants. Maintain and observe justice at all time and avoid blind retaliation. Protect and treat them humanly. It's in the Quran. Number 6, prisoners of war or captives. Be kind at all time to captives or prisoners of war. Collect and care for wounded combatants. It's still in the Quran. Number 7, medical or distinctive signs. Respect personnel and facilities or persons bearing an obsec mark with signs as Red Cross or Red Crescent, including religious persons, military or civilians. Carrying white flag used for negotiation, truce, or surrender. You know, Your Honor, I am touched by this one.
So, ang sinasabi po ninyo, yung nakita ho ng taong bayan na pagtrato sa ating SAF 44, na pagpatay sa kanila ng harap-harapan,
Masakit
sinasabi
sa
niyo po
amin.
ngayon na,
Masakit sa amin yung pagkamatay ng SAF 44.
at yung kung paano po sila pinatay, yung nakita ho natin.
Kaya nga ho, kailangan natin ng independent investigation para makita natin ang
Okay.
katotohanan.
Madam Chairman, I'd just like to give the last word to General Espina. Yesterday po, meron kayong hinaing. In fact, it brought General Napeñas to tears kahit po kami. Many of us were moved by that statement. At this point, and this was also my question when the last time, no? Ano pa rin po yung hustisya na hinahanap po ng ating kapulisan dito po sa nangyari?
Alam niyo po, katulad po nung nasabi ko noon pa, tagal ko na pong nilagay ang sarili ko doon sa paanong humahanap po ng hustisya. Doon ho malalaman nyo na eh. Katulad nung pamilya, ano ho ba ang gusto nilang mahanap? So that we'll have a good perspective of what real justice are we seeking. Kaya nga ho yan, malaman ho ang katotohanan. Kung malaman po yung katotohanan through investigation, dapat pong maparusahan kung sino man mo may pagkakamali, kung sino yung pumatay, kung sino nagkamali, etc. And all others, kasi hindi na natin mababalik yung nagwan po ng injustice. Buti ho, nandito si Chairman Iqbal at least naparating po natin sa kanila kung ano ho yung mga nangyari doon sa mga pulis namin. Maraming salamat po. Kung if I may, kung I hope sama-sama po sana tayo. 44 po yung aming namatay. Sabi nyo sa inyo, 18. Pero we have to be both together here po, no? We seek justice for our people. Yung sa inyo din naman ho, sana maging ganun din. Salamat po.